I think we're all good on every front. Can Josh hear us? All right, we're good.
Okay. All right, this meeting will come to order. This is Erda City Council. Today is Thursday, May 25th, 2023, at approximately 7 o'clock. We are in the Tooele County Auditorium located at 47 South Main Street, Tooele, Utah. We have our technology working today, we think. So we've got a Google Meet running as well as a YouTube broadcast. We'll start off with the roll call. Terry Minor here, Kenneth Martin here, Jess Burgess here, Craig Smith here, Ed Scott here. We've also got Jen Poole, our reporter, and our attorney, John Brothers. Right. Let's see. Scott, I think it might be here.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, we will open the meeting to public comment.
This would be the time where you would speak.
Well, I had just one clarification. You've got an agenda item for me later on. Will I get a chance to speak at that, or is there no public comment at that point? It's about the flagpole.
Well, I'm okay having you part of that discussion later today.
Okay, that's, if not, I'll make them now, but I figured you'd want to get through your other agenda and then we could.
Okay. Yeah, that works for me.
You're gonna make a motion for that, or that will just be formal?
All right, anybody else? Oh, Buck, thanks for saying that.
Hello, my name is Buck Peck. I am acting as a citizen of Erda and not speaking in official capacity. I have a question in that I tried to get a dumpster from a commercial operation. They said that they don't service our area, even though my two neighbors have dumpsters. Somehow, I have one. Somehow, we are no longer in their service area. My assumption is that by some contract with the county or the city, they're no longer allowed to service to take on new customers. How do I put a dumpster at my house?
Who'd you call?
Reliance and Ace, or Rescue. Reliance. Rescue, the blue one. The blue one and the red one.
Republic is who's picking up your trash cans on the side of your road. Grab me after the meeting. I will give you a phone number of a good dumpster company.
Okay.
Service you well.
Thanks.
My sister has a dumpster. Her son has a dumpster. The new neighbor that bought my brother's house has a dumpster.
But I can't have one.
I don't know.
They said, did you use your nice voice?
The first or second time I called, and then I got frustrated, and I didn't use my nice voice.
I'm going to close public comment.
Yeah.
We do have a few people online. No one has a raised hand as of yet to make a comment.
Second motion.
All right, moved and seconded that we close public comment. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's, I will move that we approve the minutes from May 11th.
Second. I have a question.
Sure.
I
know this is gonna be hard to believe, but I actually noticed something.
Good.
I think you listed Buck as Bucky. It's just Buck. It's not Bucky.
I will look at that. If pick up the
Never
line
mind.
needed.
Because we have a Bucky Whitehouse, you know, that runs the county emergency management
Mhm.
plan. And it could look like we had him in our meeting, making comments.
All right, I will look into it and I will adjust it later.
Okay.
So would you like to amend that motion as amended? Change it?
Yes.
Bucky? I'll still second it then.
Okay. All right, we've got an amended motion and a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? These meeting minutes are adopted. Okay. Turn time for Terry.
Okay, deposit since the last meeting is $32,043.63. Our disbursements, checks written, have one check for clerk salary for $783.45. One check to Aqua Engineering for $14,756.25. One to CBE Technologies, $290.39. And we had an electronic withdrawal for payroll tax, state tax for $49, and federal tax $410, for a total of $16,289.09. Credit card, we had a monthly fee of $882 for Microsoft, monthly fee for Adobe $39, and a renewal of Objective Core 1 year $256.47 for a total $286.61. It's the deposits of the account. And they were paid today on the credit card.
Any questions for the treasurer? Moving right along. Chair moves that we open public hearing for fiscal year 2024 budget. Second, we open this hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Motion passes, and we now have room holders. Would you like to see?
It's rushing pretty hard. Chief.
Public
Lucky got a bug got me.
I didn't represent myself as this is.
Been online there.
Huh? There are no hand raised or comment.
That's a very boring budget.
Seeing no comment, I move we close the public hearing for fiscal year 2024 budget.
Second.
And move in second that we close this public hearing. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing is closed. Ordinance 2023-04. Ordinance Erda adopting a final budget making appropriations to support Erda. Time period beginning July 1st, 2023 and ending June 30th, 2024. And determining the rate of tax and levying taxes upon all real and personal property within Erda. Resulting tax is the same amount of tax previously collected by Tooele County for municipal purposes and will not result in tax increase to residents. Discussion. Please.
Just want to make a slight, I guess a minor adjustment. There's on the treasurer's salary, it was kind of calculated as a year. I'm going to move that, to just 30,000 instead of 60, take that 30,000 and apply it to the contract and building inspector, making it going from 125 to 155,000 for the engineering and building inspector, and for the treasurer going from 60 down to 30. So it'd only be 44.
I think it makes a lot of sense.
And it doesn't change the total amount in the amount, it's just moving from one object to the other.
The proposed change amendment to that, I think it's a wise move.
Okay, with no further discussion, the chair will accept the motion.
Move we adopt ordinance 2023-04, adopting fiscal year 24 budget
Second. As
as amended by.
I still say.
Okay. Second, adopt this ordinance as amended. Proceed to a roll call vote. Barry, how do you vote?
Yes.
Bill?
Yes.
Yes, votes yes. Greg?
Yes.
And Scott?
Yes.
Got it. Unanimous votes on this. And we'll adopt that as amended. Discussion on amending current budget. Do you want to speak on that, Terry?
Yeah, what I need to do is, as a council, I would like to ask John with creating a resolution amending this year's budget. We had 90,000 set up for engineering / permits, and that was good for 10 months, but not for 12. So I'm anticipating we still have 2 months left, so I'd like to change that from 190 to 130. So we cover the next 2 months.
Is that concluding our city planner
Yes,
contract?
that's all the permits. They need the council as a council to task John with creating that resolution, if you all agree.
John, could you acknowledge that you heard that and you've got that? Get that for us.
Lost John.
He's there. Just muted yourself, John. Can you unmute yourself and then talk? So you're talking, but we can't hear you for some reason. We can't hear him at all. He's not coming across all the speakers.
Our speakers were looking at Hi, John. Sorry, we're not hearing you through the speakers for some reason, so I thought I'd give you a call.
Yes, I got my notes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much. Anything else on that discussion?
That's all I got.
All right, item number 7, discussion of flagpole zoning violation.
we'd like to invite Neil Coons. I live at 3808 North, 2125 West. I'm here representing my mother, Barbara Coons, who lives at 3854 North, 2125 West. So the discussion about the flagpole, and I had a question to start off with. I've got a building permit that was applied for and paid for and executed from last year. So I was really confused when I saw, I've been through the whole permitting process and I didn't see where there's any need for a conditional use or a zoning application for that. So I'd like to know where in the zone I'm not allowed to put that flagpole up.
I can answer that one. In all RR5 zones, the tallest structure you can have is 35 feet without a conditional use.
Okay,
And it specifically calls flagpoles out as needing a conditional use.
okay, and I have looked through that, and when I applied for the permit and got it, it was under the interim zoning ordinance for Erda City when you had Twila County's zoning. And in there, it has the RR development, and it says a maximum building height. And Twila's zoning, Erda's zoning, called out structures and building as separate. A building is a structure, but a structure, a flagpole, is not a building. So there's a building height restriction on RR5, but there's no structure height restriction. So I've complied, and I know I read this the same way that the engineer that reviewed the building permit did it.
Wasn't there a question that the permit expired?
Yeah, so permits are only good for 6 months.
Unless you make progress on those. I was building on that for the foundation, and I put the foundation in, dug it in November before that 6 months expired, and then I had to wait over the winter. We had a bad winter for that in April and put it up.
That's news to me.
So I'm sorry, what was
I said that's news to me.
okay.
So it'd be helpful if you could,
I can document that.
show us a receipt of when the cement was delivered. That way we have documentation.
Yeah, I can send you pictures of when I dug the hole, when I did it, and yeah, it just took me a while to be able to.
When did you put concrete in?
When I put concrete in was April 21st.
Last month.
Yeah, last month.
Okay. Well, I'm not sure that digging a hole.
Most of the permits that I've been involved with, they're a year timeframe, not 6 months, but I understand 6 months. You have to make progress on it in that time and continual progress. And I've made continual progress on putting it together so that the permit wouldn't expire.
This says it expired December 13th.
Yeah, that's the first 6 months, but I started digging the hole.
But he's saying November.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I mean,
I think that still leaves a definition to be resolved.
I mean,
Because you don't need a building permit to dig a hole. But
but
I'm
you
not sure.
should put the foundation in that. I mean, it's not like you can just
What's
do
the
this immediately.
What's the progress from December to April?
The ongoing progress is I was putting steel in and then putting the column in for the flagpole.
Well, I'm glad you're here.
Okay.
So we'll discuss this with John. And assuming that that is a representation of making progress, then it seems to me like the difficulties between you and the FFA. No, FAA. Sorry.
FAA. And I wanted to give you guys a little bit, I understand that you've been getting pressure from Salt Lake City and the FAA. And the FAA process that they asked for is a notification process, and I have followed that and given them that time frame. And when I applied for this, the Salt Lake City has known about this flagpole going up since I put this permit in. Actually, before I put the permit, I notified them of it. So Salt Lake City's known about it for over a year, longer than Erda City. And they've said nothing. The FAA notification process, I turned it in, and they had 45 days to notify me of a resolution. They took 175 days before they provided notification. And by that time, I already had the flagpole, the hole, and I was just waiting for good weather to pour the concrete. And I gave them a 30-day notice to put it up.
When did they send you that notification of their answer?
It was January 25th of 2023. So 8 months after I had notified them that it was going up in their 45-day window. Also, this property's been under litigation, and I won't bore you with all of the details of that. But in the last hearing we had with the judge, I want to read you just a position that the city had. The city's position remains that it does not physically occupy the property because it does not control flight plans, and any pilots passing over the property are governed by FAA regulations. And it is not using the property insofar as it has made no attempt to enforce an easement since the dismissal of the prior case. So they've had an opportunity, and they've told the court that they don't need an easement over my property.
This is Salt Lake City.
This is Salt Lake City. So yeah, to be clear, that is Salt Lake City. So for them to say that they have a problem with it now, they've ignored everything for over a year. So I don't think it's fair of them to make it your problem. I mean, your engineers followed the process, you followed your process. But then
Still need your documentation.
Yeah.
To show.
yeah, I can document that for you.
Who's at 3966?
39, 66.
There's two flagpole
That
permits.
That might be, my mom owns that property, so there's 3 5-acre parcels right there. She's on 39 or 3854,
I just noticed this.
and I believe that's the end parcel.
That is the one that's right on the way.
So that's the actual where the flag is.
Right.
Correct.
Thanks for coming.
So do you guys have any other questions for me on that as far as process of what was done?
Not this meeting.
All right. Well, thank you.
Any further comments or discussion from the council members?
Agenda. We have, this is topic number 7. Seems to me like we have a whole different perspective now than one presented to us by the.
I think we owe it to everybody to do our research. Look at the building versus structure definition. So we'll task our attorney with that. As the law was when the application.
I think we table this discussion until after John has a chance to look at it carefully and advise.
I'll second that. All right, been moved and seconded to table this discussion. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Council representative.
Go. So, I got some more paperwork on complaint, in our community that is overloaded. Has rental space, the basement, not adequate parking, not adequate fire code, not adequate sanitary. Anyway, the list goes on, so I went and spoke to them. Turns out they have, there's a husband and wife there and 2 kids, and a mother-in-law. They also have 2 cousins, living with them. So that puts them at 7. I told them we'd probably be all right with that. And then they mentioned, which we already knew, that, well, there's 4 others. And I think what they meant to say was 4 other families. I told them about the problems with fire code, about the problems with parking, about the problems with sanitation. And their comment was, well, we'll have them move out. I'm waiting for that to happen. That conversation was just last Friday. So I'll keep in touch with them. The other one that we discussed last week, I keep trying to contact them again, see what progress they've made, what ideas they have, plans that they maybe come up with. Can't get them to answer the door.
This is one of the cars.
Yeah.
Have they made any progress?
Well,
Cleaning
it's
that up?
not visible progress. So, I'm frankly hoping that they're working on an agreement with someone to store those off-site somewhere. And then apply for a conditional use permit.
Little fence or something.
Yeah, and then anytime we have, our lawn, we have a mechanic shop, there'll be conditions on noise, parking, and different things like that. So, anyway, and then the other one, we just discussed. I'm a code enforcement guy,
Okay.
which is like saying I'm the dummy that wasn't here at the meeting when they assigned that.
Literally.
Thank you, doing a good job, Scott. I really do.
You're welcome. You're all welcome. That's all I have to say.
The small business grants applications are still open for up to $10,000 through the county. So they're still taking those applications through the first week of June. Listened into a land use discussion last week. There's some changes coming to our code, whether we like it or not. The subdivision ordinance will be completely redone. The state's mandating how things are going to be handled and done. There will no longer be a review from the planning commission for final plat. They're saying subdivisions are administrative, not legislative, and so they're making steps to force that. Subdivisions can only have 1 public hearing, no more than 1. And then I say finals or checklists that staff will do, they won't go before planning commission anymore.
Is the state trying to make it easier for an applicant to get a subdivision? Is that the direction to go?
The state for years has been saying that they're gonna start taking over zoning if growth isn't allowed the way it's supposed to, then they're taking those steps.
Just making sure I understood it correctly.
And for lack of a better term, reading that they are making those steps. The changes in the moderate income housing really won't affect us for now. The changes in the subdivision ordinances will, John's already started writing a new subdivision ordinance and preparing it for the planning and zoning. So that'll happen.
Complies with this new direction.
Yeah, so that applies to state ordinance. The state has also put in a airport overlay zone and said that every city, county will adopt it. And if you don't, theirs goes into effect. I don't have a problem letting theirs go into effect and then carrying that hit, because the minimum that they're saying we have to adopt is what theirs is. So, just like,
Like more work than we need to.
well, why have us pass an ordinance that affects the Coons property, forcing an easement? I'll let the state do that, and they can fight that battle. Planning and zoning. Let's see what changes they do last week. This factor subdivision was approved, and they could,
Clyde was,
or Shannon Lawson's. Shannon Lawson's, that subdivision.
Where'd she go?
She's had enough of us, I guess. She got her signature. And the conditional use permit for the school was also issued. They came up with some brilliant conditions, I felt, to help with traffic and lighting and crossings. They had a really good discussion tonight. They came up with 4 additional conditions above what the staff thought would be good. I think that it'll really help mitigate some of the problem over there. That's all I got.
So you didn't have a problem with that maintenance thing, is that what you did?
Yeah, I was driving and I just listened to it for an hour and a half while I was driving and tried to absorb, but there was a lot, there's an awful lot there. I can send you the slideshow.
What do you think he sent it to you?
Yes.
Oh, there is one more thing. It's been requested that the FID committee meet next week. They've sent back, the FID committee sent issues with the governing documents back to the developers. They have fixed the red line and sent that to us and requested that the FID committee meet next week if we can. They also put a time schedule in. They hope that we can have a hearing on it in the first meeting in June and a vote on the second meeting in June.
See what it looks like next meeting.
And see what comes out of the next meeting.
Good.
Everything's perfect. Quick. I doubt everything's perfect.
Solo contract like that with only one back and forth.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
I wouldn't hold that regret for that.
We'll see if they made all the changes that were requested.
Okay. Any comments?
I got one, it's Scott's birthday Sunday, and he said all city employees can have that day off.
Did you have that, Jim? You're off.
On Sunday?
You're off. All of them.
Perfect. I have a comment. The candidate declaration period starts this coming week on Thursday. So if you are wanting to,
Starts on like on the
on
first.
June 1st through June 7th. So if you'd like to submit an application to be a candidate for Erda City Council, make an appointment with me anytime between June 1st and June 7th during regular business hours.
Do you accept withdrawals?
And you,
No, well, only new candidates, not current.
You're not withdrawing.
Are you gonna be meeting them in person in the?
I am
firehouse?
required to meet them in person, so I have posted office hours. I will be there Thursday from 9 to noon, and then I'll be there the following Tuesday, 11 to 2, or Monday, 11 to 2, and then Wednesday, 2 to 5, but I will be available to make appointment at any point, because I am required to be available at any time during that time frame, from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. So call me, email me, we will set up an appointment to be there if it's not during the currently posted business hours, but I'll be there.
Awesome.
I'm required to be available, so.
A week from today is June 1st.
Yes, isn't that weird? So I will have all applications there in person, fill it out there. If you want, I can mail them to you or email them to you, so you can look at them and then bring them in to me. But they must be signed in office in front of me, or in front of a notary.
Well done, thank you, Jen. That's
Sorry,
awesome.
just shut up.
Okay, anything else? You wanna make a motion?
I move we adjourn.
Second, we adjourn this meeting, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? We adjourn.
Admission.